I think a lot of people said they thought our version of A Christmas Carol would be a one-year thing. I never did. When we premiered it here in this theater in the park, I knew there was something special about it. But over a period of time, we're over 40 years old this year, and there's so many stories associated with production over that period of time. But one time in particular, there was a woman whose name was Charlotte. She lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got a call one afternoon. We were getting ready to perform that night, and a lady said, I have this friend, her name is Charlotte, and she got some very tough news today, that she has terminal cancer, and she's been given a few months to live. I would like to bring her to the show because she needs to have her spirits lifted. And I said, oh, by all means. And why don't you do this? Why don't you bring Charlotte backstage before the show? Because the company gathers in this rehearsal room. We warm up, we sing a little bit, and I would love to have Charlotte be part of that. So I made an announcement to the company in the rehearsal hall before Charlotte arrived, and I told them what was happening and why I thought it was important and very special that Charlotte come back and kind of be part of our group for a few minutes. The door opened and she came in, and it was a love feast. She got hugged and loved by that entire company. Little children and adults. I mean, just so she sang with us, and she was there for a few minutes, and she got ready to leave. To this day, I don't know why I said what I said, but I called out as she was getting ready to go out the door. I said, Charlotte, and she turned, and I said, will we see you next year? And she looked at me like I had lost my mind. But then this little smile came on her face, and she said, okay, that's the deal. I'll see you next year. Well, she made 3 years. And she would come backstage every year, and it was a love feast all over again. And every year I would say, will we see you next year? And she would, I'll see you next year. The end of the third year, when she was backstage, she got ready to leave, and I said, like I always did, will we see you next year? And she turned to me and she said, I'm not too sure. And I had a feeling we wouldn't see her again. But I knew in my heart what that show had meant to her, and it was a humbling experience to know that it became a landmark for this lady, a lifeline. That's what I mean about theater touching lives. That's what theater should be, I think. That's what I want it to be, and I think so many people who I love and respect in this business feel that same way.